This video brought to you by our Patreons. Please consider supporting this channel and joining our Patreons at patreon.com/NovaWing24. Hi there folks, my name's NovaWing24 and welcome to the NovaWrap, your one-stop location for your simulation release news and goings on from the week that was. So here we are on Sunday the 22nd of March 2024, a episode that of course sees our world in quite the tumultuous time that it is. But of course we are here to provide you with a little bit of stability with bringing you the release news that you can enjoy products as you enjoy your quarantine. Quarantine, self-isolation, social distancing, whatever you like to call it. But just a side note, people, seriously, this is like legit. Take this seriously. This is important. There are a lot of people who will be having some hard times now at the moment, so please be a good human. And also part of that means that our hobby is going to have a lot more people coming into it, people who are new, so please be kind, be a good human, be a good fellow pilot and simmer to them, and make sure that we welcome them with open arms and resist our temptation, as I struggle to sometimes, to tell them to RTFM. Right, now with that public service announcement out of the way, let's get on to the releases from the week that was. Starting this week with a, well, it's kind of a release, not really a release. Movement, change of opinion. Right, so DCS World's Focke-Wulf 190 Alpha 8. Basically, this has been in early access for about a year now, I want to say. I remember when we covered it here on the NovaWrap, but it actually made its graduation from early access into full release this week. So they finally squashed the last of the bugs, brought in all the things that they intended to bring into it, and brought it into full release. So not going to go into it in too much detail because, as I said, it's been around for a while, but it has a highly detailed, accurate simulation of the Focke-Wulf 190 A8, accurate 3D model pulled off real-world plans, detailed modeling of all the aircraft, including systems, instruments, weapons, engine, radios, fuel, and electrical systems. And there's a wonderful representation of a bird that was known as the Butcher Bird. So there you go, made famous by Tank. But there you go. So this one's available for $50 from or normally available for $50 from DCS World's web store. Currently on a pandemic special for $25 or original equivalent, available now from DCS. Alright, moving out of DCS World, moving into the world of X-Plane 11. The guys over at UK 2000 released their Luton 2020 HD for X-Plane 11. So this is part of their new HD series of airports that are coming out, where they're releasing, which is really funny actually. These guys are moving towards this when everybody else is moving away from this, where when they're releasing their new high definition products, they're releasing, one price point gets you access to all the major sims out there at the moment. So it gets you access to the 32-bit sims of FSX and prepared, FSX, F16, prepared 1, 2, and 3, and also gives you access to prepared V4 version, and also gives you access to an X-Plane 11 version, all for one low price, which I think is, as I said before, is a highly commendable way of doing it. And I've got to admit, as I said, when every other developer seems to be moving away from this model, UK 2000 have come to it, and I just want to say, guys, great work, awesome, love it, lovely work. But yeah, as I said, so this was released, and we covered this here on the news a few weeks ago with the release of Luton. So again, not going to cover it too much detail. So this is the X-Plane 11. So if you are an X-Plane 11 user, it has now come out for you. Couple of things to note for this one is it does use PBR materials, just the prepared before version does. Designed to be fully compatible with Orbix's True Earth as well, which is kind of cool. The only thing that they did note is that there is a limitation of the X-Plane 11 version where the some of the terrain features and the tunnel that feature in the ESP version did not make its way over to the X-Plane 11 version. I believe it's something to do with the terrain kit, the terrain SDK that X-Plane 11 has, which stopped them from bringing it in. So, but otherwise, all the airport major features, including high-resolution textures throughout, accurate 3D modeling of all buildings at the airport, runway wigbags, full sets of signs, static GA and airline aircraft, accurate runway layouts as it appears in the start of the end of 2019, all included. So you can pick this one up for $22 or your original equivalent, available now from UK 2000. Continuing on with X-Plane 11 releases and moving into aircraft, and this one was one that I actually forgot from last week, so thank you very much to Belgiode for reminding me of this one. Was a release from Big Tire Simulations, which was this is their first helicopter that they've actually come out with, and they've done a rendition of the Robinson R22. Now, I can feel that everybody is sort of screaming, going, why are we having yet another Robinson R22? And it's like, well, there's several reasons. One is that the Robinson R22 is often the first first helicopter that budding helicopter pilots actually get exposed to. But secondly, is that because of that, it's also a great way, because of its basic piston engine design and very simple flight characteristics, it actually makes a really great starting point for developers to actually come into helicopters as well. And as I said, this is Big Tire Productions' first helicopter they've produced. Now, what they've done for this one is, as I said, come through and done an accurate 3D model of the Robinson R22, including full implementation of PBR texturing, full set of FMOD sound effects and soundscape recorded in this one as well. Full modeling of all mechanical systems, including the mechanical throttle correlation, the throttle governor, rolling systems, as well as accurate night lighting and reflections, a full set of avionics, including the Garmin GNS 530 and GTX 330's transponder as well. The flight model has been developed with feedback from actual R22 pilots. So this one's coming in pretty standard price for basic helicopters like this, $25 US, or the original equivalent, available now from xplane.org. Continuing on with another release from the X-Plane 11 world that I forgot from last week. Again, thank you very much to Belgiode for pointing this one out. Was AOA Simulations' release of the T7A Red Hawk. So this one's actually kind of interesting release, and I now Belgiode said that it's a fantastic aircraft, and that it looks amazing, it feels amazing, and is a really good thing. I will be a little bit more reserved with this one, because this is an aircraft that is literally still in prototype stage, so that to be able to get accurate feels and accurate information back from actual pilots of it is going to be very hard to come by. So I will sort of just hold off a bit for that, but at the same time, the price point is pretty good for this one. So in terms of what does the AOA Simulations claim, they've come through that it's a rendition of both the T7A Advanced Trainer and the F7A Light Fighter variant. Includes full accurate 3D modeling, full use of PBR texturing throughout, 3D model of the aircraft internally and externally, and also a limited set of weapons systems included as well. Includes a variety of target track avionics systems are included for testing intercepts procedures. You can fly from both forward and aft cockpits are both modeled accurately, fully included as well. It also includes in-flight refueling capability, which I wasn't sure you could do in X-Plane 11, so I'll be interested to read more about that. Fully VR compatible, full set of Avitab tablet integration as well. Fully modeled heads-up display, 32 points touchscreen control panel. Large format glass panel with embedded G1000 moving map, variety of different sub-displays all done as well. Full set of navigation suite including dual ADF, GPS, Nav1, Nav2, VOR, LILS, etc, etc, etc. The onboard radar modeling system includes air-to-air with radar lock and AI targets. Weapon systems, as I said, includes 4 AIM-9X infrared missiles, 8 SDBs as GPS aim gun pods, and a master jettison switch as well. Now, no information about whether they're usable or not. I'd be interested to know about that. Yeah, it also includes, as an interesting one, not quite sure how this works, but I'd love to know about this, is an animated ejection sequence. I'd love to know more about that, but there you go. Anyway, so if you are wanting to pick this one up and give this one a try, you are looking at $36 or your original equivalent, available now from xplane.org. And another aircraft release this week for the X-Plane 11 world, we saw the release of a Cirrus SR22 from Carinado. So the Cirrus SR22 is a very popular single-engine touring aircraft over the sort of the 2000s. First designed and built in 2001, I believe, and was a upgraded version of the original Cirrus SR20 with a larger wing, higher fuel capacity, and a bigger engine included with this one. Now, this is it's apparently known as the world's. It apparently has the record of being the world's best-selling single-engine four-seat aircraft every year since 2004, which is interesting. So I'll take that with a dose of salt. Pretty sure that's publicity stunt. But anyway, now the aircraft is now this model is full 3D model, accurate as the aircraft is currently in its current production form. Includes full interior and external PBR texturing throughout. Full 3D modeling, both internally and externally, as I said before. Does support rain effects as well by the Librem plugin. Full set of customized Fmod sounds and a full set of Carinato G1000 for light avionics suites as well. Designed to be fully VR compatible, include accurate engine dynamics and flight physics optimized for X-Plane 11 standards, and includes realistic behavior of the completed real airplane based on actual real-world pilots. So this one's coming out at $35 US or original equivalent, available now from Carinato or your favorite flight sim retailer. Moving out of the X-Plane 11 world, moving into the ESP world, with the guys over at Orbix releasing their latest release, this time for Prepared V4 exclusively, with their release of the Scandanavian Mountains Airport, which I always thought it was a bit of a weird name for an airport, but anyway. So reading about this is a pretty standard fare that we come to expect from Orbix these days. It feels kind of bad, in some ways, actually, just thinking about it. That's 4K textures and PBR is now sort of standard. I know that's great, but when we all sort of barely 2 years ago, we just dreamed of this kind of stuff. But anyway, moving on. So this includes incredibly detailed aerial imagery of the airfield, accurate to 3 centimeter per pixel drone sourced aerial imagery. That's crazy, by the way. Includes prototype snow technology for producing snowdrifts, so dynamic snowdrifts and dynamic weather influenced ground textures. Includes a set of seasonal variation textures, interior modeling of major buildings, as I said, 4K textures including PBR throughout all the major buildings, color corrected coverage area of the surrounding area as well, including 7 centimeter per pixel of the area immediately outside the airport and 50 centimeter a bit further out. Custom static aircraft, ground service equipment, etc., 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 and designed to blend seamlessly with Orbix's Norway, global base, and open LCU products as well. So this one's coming in pretty standard fare from Orbix, coming in at $20 US or the original equivalent, available now from Orbix. Continuing on with ESP platform releases, the guys over at RF Scenery Building are revisiting Italy this week with their release of Trieste, Friuli Venezia Giulia Airport. And I am absolutely certain I've got there. Small note to any of my Italian viewers, I hope you are all safe. We are all thinking of you during this tragic time, especially as the rest of the world seems to be catching up with you guys. Hope you are all safe and well. Other than that, this airport release has a pretty standard fare from RF Scenery release. Accurate buildings, accurate airport layout as it appears at the end of 2019. This one is a airport which is a hub for low-cost carriers for passengers and freight carriers. Custom vehicles, all 3D models, all 3D buildings accurately modeled as per the runway layout. Glass effects are included on the airport buildings and various vehicles throughout. Includes custom road traffic for the surrounding area and land class as well. Designed to be color blended with Orbix's FTX global systems as well. The Prepared V4 version does include dynamic lighting, though no information about any PBR or not. I'm pretty sure most of their releases do not include it, so that's pretty standard for them. Alright, if you are wanting to pick this one up, you're looking at about $18 US or the original equivalent, available now from Sim Market. Continuing on with ESP releases. Oh, sorry, and just rounding that one out, as I said before, that one is fully compatible with the full ESP gamut from FSX all the way up to Prepared V4 and beyond. Alright, and continuing on with that vein, also compatible with all of the extended ESP family, the High Simulations have released their rendition of Santa Maria International Airport in the city of Aracaju in Brazil. So this airport, as I said, not a lot of information about this one. Basically includes accurate layout of the airport as it appears during 2019, custom photo reel for the airport and surrounding area, full implementation of PBR technology on the airport ground, so you actually do get the wet effects if it does rain. You get a detailed land class for the city of Alexandria or Arcachel nearby, including custom 3D buildings and custom objects to aid for VFR navigation. Designed to be fully compatible with Orbix FDX Global, as well as also GSX compatibility for those of you airline flyers as well. Otherwise, that's pretty much all the information I got for this one. This is coming in at $24 US, or your original equivalent, available now from Sim Market. Moving out of the flight sim world and moving into the world of the permanent way, Train Sim World saw the release of their latest train this week with the release of the Caltrain MP15DC diesel switcher locomotive. So this was a locomotive that was designed to be a traditional multi-purpose locomotive. Designed to be doing a lot of sort of shunting and sort of maintenance operations, be helping out various train providers around the world. Specifically, though, it was optimized and designed for the use of Caltrain's Rosses for part of their servicing their routes and their other trains and marshalling yards. So as such, is modeled as one of their colorful liveries and is a complete, highly detailed recreation of this train, including accurate true-to-life performance and handling, highly detailed, feature-rich driving cab with accurate true-to-life performance and handling as well. Now, in order to be able to utilize it, does come with some scenarios as well to be able to learn it and all the rest of it. However, in order to be able to use those scenarios, you also need the Train Sim World Peninsula Corridor San Francisco to San Jose route add-on as well. Otherwise, you won't be able to use it. So there you go, comes with that one, and this one's coming in pretty standard price, coming in at $20 US, or your original equivalent, available now on Steam. Moving across to Dovetail Games' other train simulator, the actual Train Simulator 2020. Saw a few releases in that stable this week. First one being Lake Constance in the Schaffhausen Kreuzlingen route in Switzerland. So, this is a really beautiful part of the world, by the way. If anybody who's ever, if you ever get a chance to go there, I highly recommend it. I absolutely love Lake Constance. I really do. Anyway, moving on. So this route was originally built during the mid to late 1800s by a consortium of 3 different Swiss train companies. And they basically had different sections of the route, and they would actually sort of link them together to be able to sort of form this one huge route that it is today. As time went on, it started, it sort of was sort of starting to see less and less use. It was going to be phased out, and then a new conglomeration took over the route in the late 90s and actually started modernizing both the tracks and the trains that were on it, and actually became a very profitable, very beautiful route for a lot of tourists as well as regular commuters. Now, this includes 7 career scenarios and 2 railfan mode scenarios coming through here, along with a new train, the SBB RAB E526 electric motive unit. Now, this is a highly detailed 28-mile route, is included here with both the SBB's L and N type signaling systems. 18 detailed train stations are included, along with custom handcrafted track-size scenery and infrastructure throughout. Now this one's coming in pretty standard price for a route. This one coming in normal price of $35 US, original equivalent. Currently on a special at the moment for $32, available now on Steam. In another release for Train Simulator 2020 this week, we saw the release of the Intercity BR Class 89 Badger locomotive. So the BR Class 89 was a prototype electric locomotive done from the United Kingdom during the 1980s, and it was originally sort of just as a sort of it was literally just a proof of concept, and yet it ended up actually becoming going into service, even though it was actually, there was only one of its type. And it was really interesting because it becomes a high-speed service. But it was used originally as high speed, then sort of more sedate speeds as things as time went on. Eventually, it was sold and sort of brought off the routes in the served throughout the 80s and 90s, and then it was eventually retired in the early 2000s and went into history. So this one is a highly accurate detailed rendition of the prototype BR Class 89, also includes Mark 1 and Mark 3 coaches in various liveries as well, and also includes dead in tow BR Class 47 as well. Includes 3 scenarios for use on the East Coast Main Line London Peterborough route if you have that as well. So this piece of train history can be purchased for $20 US, or the original equivalent, available now on Steam. Continuing on with another release of Train Simulator this week, we saw the release of the Granger Heartland Scenario Pack. This pack gives you a range of scenarios coming in to 10 scenarios for Union Pacific operations as part of the Kansas City Topeka Main Line. So it gives you a variety of different things, whether it be freight traffic, heavy, so very different freight traffic options, whether it be high traffic, heavy tonnage, or a variety of different switching options as well. So a lot coming through here. In order to be able to enjoy the 10 scenarios that come as part of this pack, you're looking at needing to pick up the Granger Heartland route add-on and the Sherman Hill route add-on, as well as some of them also require the Union Pacific SD 9043 locomotive as well. So this one's coming in at $10, so basically $1 per scenario, available now on Steam. Sticking with ground level, but moving on to the roadway with Euro Truck Simulator 2, seeing the latest tuning pack this week. So this one is a licensed production of HS-Schoch tuning equipment with a variety of different truck styling and accessories. You get a variety of accessories including light bars, bump bars, side steps, roof bars, and more for about 10 different trucks, including DAF, Iveco, MAN, Mercedes-Benz, Renault, Scania, and Volvo trucks all included. So this one's coming in pretty standard price, coming in at pretty cool price, coming at $2, available now on Steam. And rounding out the simulation release news for this week, saw the release this week of TT Isle of Man Ride on the Edge 2. Motorbike simulator. So this is an interesting one. The original TT Isle of Man title received not very good ratings because of, not so much because it was bad, just because it had an incredibly steep learning curve. And it was very limited in what you could get. The Right on the Edge 2, so very few people predicted there was going to be a sequel, and then a few months ago they announced there was going to be one, and now here it is. So it seems though that they did take a little bit of some of that feedback on. It still has a steep learning curve, absolutely. However, they do have a mode unlocked where you can actually access the sort of title race, the actual Isle of Man time trial. You can actually access that in free play straight away. But if you go career mode, it still is fairly unforgiving. Other than that, it includes a highly detailed rendition of 18 different motorbikes across 18 tracks, including the Isle of Man TT track. And otherwise, it's a brand new open world biker's paradise where you can actually go through and fine tune your bikes that you're going to be used before you actually give them out and give them a go on the virtual road. There's also been some day one DLC come out for this, for giving a pro newcomer pack, which gives you different parts to be able to sort of help boost your career mode. It also includes, which I'm concerned about because that basically makes this pay to win, even though it's mostly single player. There is a bit of online PvP, but basically the pro newcomer pack, basically to me that sounds like pay to win. Anyway, otherwise there's also the Ducati 900 Mike Hollywood edition, 1978 edition. That one is available as DLC on day one. But the core game coming in at $40 US, or your original equivalent, available now on Steam. And as I said, that rounds out the NovaWrap for this week. Thank you very much for joining me. Don't forget, as always, to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying these videos and want to see more. And of course, as always, you can catch up with me and all the things I'm up to between videos by finding me on Facebook and on Twitter. Just search NovaWing24. Alright, folks, thanks very much for joining me. Take care, safe skies to all, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.